What's good, everyone? Welcome back to another video. If you don't know who I am, that means you're new. I'm Mark. What's good with y'all? Go check out my other videos. But y'all read the topic. You read it correctly. This video's topic, gun review. Smith & Wesson M&P Bodyguard 380. Now, I'm sure you're wondering why did I specify, Bodyguard 380. 380 is just the caliber that is chambered in, you're thinking. Well, they do have a Bodyguard 38 that's a revolver, And I mean, I get it clearly. This, is not a revolver, but still figured, it just was worth saying. All right, so I'm going to give my overall opinions on this gun first, and of course, I'm going to run it through all four situations and see how it would fare. I guess would be the best way to say it. All right, so my overall opinion on this gun, I believe this is the second best pocket gun out there. Why do I say second? Well, I personally like the Ruger LCP more. That's just me. And no, not the LCP2 or the LCP Max, just the original, the OG LCP. So, back to what I was saying. The Bodyguard 380. Second best pocket pistol on the market. I wholeheartedly can say that. Some things I do not like about it, and they're not the biggest deal in the world. I mean, one of them I'm actually really not a fan of at all, but I can get past it. So, first off, this isn't the biggest deal. In my opinion, there is no reason for a pocket pistol to have a manual safety right here. Shit, fucking have no nails, so it's hard to get traction. There you are. There's no reason for there to be a manual safety right here on this gun. You see what I mean? No reason at all. It is a pocket pistol. Clear? Y'all can see. It has an extremely heavy trigger pull. I believe it's like 8 pounds and something else. It's something heavy. But it's also, I don't know, those both kind of go hand in hand. While yes, the trigger pull is extremely heavy, which, pretty much just gives it no reason to have a manual safety on it. I'm not a fan of the trigger. I'm pretty sure y'all might, if y'all at least have seen my LCP review, you will know that I have said this in there. I am not a fan with how heavy the trigger pull is. Because with the LCP, it's not as heavy of a trigger pull, it's just a long trigger pull. You know what I mean? That girl fucking that toy up. Jesus. All right, so as I was saying, so it's just a couple of, pros and cons. I actually haven't even set the pro yet. Something that I do like, for example, compared to the LCP, is that this gun is a lot easier to lock the slide back without having to put your hand up towards the business end. Now, of course, if you at least, just check like this, before you try locking the slide back, yeah, you're going to be safe, of course, but I like locking the slide back as a way of safety so I can, visually and physically inspect without, you know what I mean? I don't know. But it is easier to lock back, which I am a fan of. Double action only, whereas, the LCP is single action. Double action meaning I can, and the hammer is going to, as you can see, keep going back. Bam. See? That was very hard to do that at a safe angle, but I did it, y'all. I did it. Excuse me. So let's go ahead and continue. Let's run it through the four situations for those y'all who, haven't seen my channel before. I don't know why I don't explain what the four situations are like that in depth enough. Realistically, the best ways to explain them are home defense, concealed carry, SHTF, shit's a fan, or what's the last one? It was, yeah, excuse me. Sorry. It's hard to remember because I have like 2 or 3 different names for the last one. Animal defense, we'll call it. Defending yourself against animals or wildlife, maybe in nature, maybe just in the city where you live. I don't know. So we'll start with home defense. While I'll be honest, and I've openly said this is better than a knife, 100%. It is by no standard optimal for home defense. I actually have seen a lot of women who they're like, oh, it's so small, it fits in my hands perfectly. This is the type of gun I need. And they don't know what they're getting themselves into. One, because you have a 6-round capacity. You can see right there yourself, 6. Even if you have one in the chamber already, that's a 7-round capacity. It's not a great capacity. That's 1911 level right there. So that's not working for you. 380 is not the highest pressured round, so it doesn't have the most kick to it. However, it can do the job, so that's at least a good thing, right? However, with how small the gun is, even though 380 is not a high pressured round, the recoil is just, and this is how it is on all super small guns. We can all agree if we've shot one, that it's just small guns are just not fun to shoot overall. Now I get it in a situation where you're defending your home, you're not looking for it to be fun necessarily, but you're at least looking for it to be somewhat comfortable, so you're not worried about dropping the gun while shooting it. I think we could all agree there. So I would now. I also will say, and I've always said this, that most people, or at least most criminals, will run when you start shooting at them. They're not going to stay around, but you don't want to take that risk of dealing with most. You know what I mean? You'd rather at least be ready and not have as small of a capacity as this. Because if they start shooting back, most criminals nowadays, they're walking around with drum mags, stick mags. You're gonna get outgunned. Excuse me. Now I will say there are couple of examples, that like a couple of variables that might be able to help you depending what type of gun they got, whatever. But that's not the point. You want to be as ready as possible yourself. So home defense is not looking too good. I will openly say that. It's not passing the test. Yeah. Now let's move on to concealed carry. Concealed carry. And I say this with all pocket guns too. If you're wearing something like gym shorts, maybe something like that where you can't have an extra gun on your body realistically without it either dragging your pants down too much or it being too obvious, then yeah, these are great. They're pocket guns, the Bodyguard is a pocket gun. It's great for deep concealment, 100%. Uh, other than that, though, in a situation, yeah, a quick 6 shots, that's nice. Quick 7 even, that's nice, However, when you run out of those shots, what are you going to do at that point? You either need to be the fuck out of there, 1, just in case the threat is still going. 2, if you stop the threat, you got lucky. I'll give you that. You need to start calling the damn police. 3, if you haven't stopped the threat, you have no way of getting out, you're out of ammo, what are you going to be able to do if you don't have an extra gun on you? If you don't have a actual primary concealed carry gun. Like, for example, the G2C would be perfect. Like, as a matter of fact, when July 1st happens, like, will be one of the people to flat out say, if you can, yeah, have a backup on you. 100%. I know a lot of y'all, that watch my channel are from Florida, y'all know what the deal is with constitutional carry happening. I know some of y'all, for some reason, once again, guys, I am just giving my opinion when I do these videos. You don't have to take my advice by any standards. If you do, that is your choice as an adult. Some people decided to not get their concealed carry permits, rather just wait to carry until constitutional carry passed. I respect it. However, I don't know. Some of y'all, I feel like, are just, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. It's not just people who aren't getting their concealed carry permits is the thing. They're waiting until July. I still look at it as, people who are even, like, they already have their concealed carry permits. They're not renewing it. There are a couple of good things. I might do a video on that, but that's neither here nor there. I still do, though, firmly believe that you shouldn't need a permit to carry. And I'm not going to go out of my way to pay a fee to the government to carry, which is why I'm going to wait until constitutional carry is enacted, which it will be in effect July 1st. So back onto the topic of the Bodyguard. Sorry, I got into a little rant about carrying there. Great for deep concealment. It is a pocket gun. In most situations, though, yes, there is the rule of 3s, of course, but we can't 100% say it's going to be accurate in your situation, So it is always best to just have, a main concealed carry gun that, bit higher of a pressured round than 380, good capacity. and then maybe something as a backup like this. So by itself, it might do the job. It really also might not, depending on what kind of situation you're in. You'll never know. So I don't know. I guess on a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give that one like a 5 for concealed carry because it can and can't. It's like a 50-50 thing, you know? So, with that being the case, we're going to move on to Shit's the Fan. Y'all are not going to like this one. If y'all really, love this gun, you're not going to like it. If you really got a thing for this, this little boy right here, you're not going to like what I'm about to say. First off, let's start with the caliber. 380, not a great idea considering it's nowhere near as mass produced, at least in the United States, as 9 mil is, maybe even 45. Because I know 45 is nowhere near as mass produced as 9 mil, but I would say honestly it's the second most mass produced, pistol caliber in the US. Now, of course, there are other countries. I believe it's like, uh, Central America, South America, somewhere like that. Yes, yeah, I don't know, somewhere around there, or where 9 mil is actually reserved for like police and shit like that. So civilians can't have 9 mil; they have to have 380, which that's pretty damn dumb in my opinion. But I mean, there's no but. That is retarded. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Let me clear that. I don't know why. It just sounded like I was defending them there. No, no, no. These people deserve to have whatever caliber they want. But what I will say, at least they're not worried about, like, there's some people, no matter what, who are just recoil princesses. They're not restricted on what kind of 380 guns they can get. Here we have a little restriction here. So I don't know, whatever. Something that just came to mind, but Shit's a Fan is not going to do a great job because, as I was saying before, the ammunition is nowhere near as mass produced as it is here. Or excuse me, the ammunition here is 380 is nowhere near as mass produced as 9 mil or 45. Some calibers along those lines. Parts are not going to be very easy to find. Girl, go somewhere. Fucking rude. Parts aren't going to be super easy to find. I would say it's maybe a good backup gun to have in a Shit's a Fan thing, but you better plan on if something happens to it, you just get rid of it. You know what I mean? Maybe you find another backup gun. Who knows? The capacity is not too great as as I've talked about before, so it's not looking too good for Shit's a Fan overall. And now let me clarify this: I'm in no way just shit talking the gun by any standard. I'm simply saying I'm pointing out its strong suits and its weak suits. You know what I mean? That's the best way to explain it. This gun has a very specific purpose, which is deep concealment, making it nowhere near known that you are carrying. And by the way, Adam, thank you for letting me borrow this gun. So, as I was saying, Shit's a Fan is not looking too good. Let's move on to an animal defense situation. We're kind of looking at an odd mixture of it does okay and doesn't, and here's why I say that. It's obviously not going to do much to help you as far as like a bear, alligator, crocodile, larger animals like that, of course. However, there's been multiple instances. Oh shit. Hand slipped right there. Sorry, I just cleaned the gun a little. I had to clean her up a little bit, and a little bit of the CLP got in the little serrations there, so it kind of made it a little slippery for me. But as I was saying, sorry, that little girl over there is a fucking menace, and I have to keep an eye on her. There have been plenty of situations where 380 is shown to, at least stop coyote, wolf, an aggressive dog, things along those lines. Things along those lines. So, with that being the case, it kind of has it does good in certain parts. Once again, this gun has a very specific purpose, y'all. I think a lot of guns realistically do, but this one in particular really has a very specific purpose, just like my ACP does. And it does a great job for its purpose. I will openly say that. However, if we're going to put it in a position that is not really made for it, then we're going to see what's going to happen. With that being the case, I honestly can say I can give this gun like an 8 out of 10. It's very reliable. I have actually haven't mentioned that. It's very reliable. I don't think there's been a single malfunction on this firearm that I've experienced, at least. Or at least a malfunction that wasn't. Excuse me. At least I haven't experienced a malfunction that was related to the firearm itself. There's been, some just shitty ammo. Yeah, sure. But other than that, guns worked like a dream. um, yeah, I think an 8 would be fine, especially for what it's made for, which is deep concealment. Now, remember, guys, make sure if you're gonna get this gun and you're gonna carry it, it is a pocket carry gun. Just to make sure to get a damn holster. Please don't throw one in the chamber and just throw it in your pocket with no holster. So I just wanted to point that out because I don't want none of my fans fucking around and hurting themselves. Uh, yeah, I think 8 out of 10 will do a good job for this gun. Let me know your opinions on the Bodyguard. Let me know your opinions. Sometimes I fuck up and call this thing LCP. I swear to God, and they're pretty damn close to each other. Not like as far as branding or anything like that, but the purpose, size, capacity, caliber, things along those lines. Uh, Other than that, I think that about wraps up this video. Y'all make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that bell. When you hit that bell, hit all. And, because you think the Bodyguard's okay. You think it ain't bad. Go and check out the podcast channel, Adam's channel, Centerfire Podcast, Gun Nut TV. Y'all know what the deal is. Of course, I'm going to tag both the channels in the description below. Girl, get from under that fucking table. You're shaking the camera and pissing off my fans. Yeah, stay back. I swear to God, I will flick you in the nose with this finger. Quit playing on me. Y'all make sure to stay legal, stay safe, stay dangerous. Have a good one, y'all. Peace. What's good, everyone? So I actually forgot to mention something when I first recorded this video. Something else about the Bodyguard, as far as home defense, why it's not going to be super great, is while you can get one that has compatibility, like not compatibility, excuse me, I'm saying that word so much in the Glock 26 review. You can get a laser basically. Yes, you can get one with a laser. All right. However, there are no rails. You are not going to be able to attach a light to that gun, which you are going to need for a home defense situation. Especially with that limited capacity that you have with that firearm. You want to at least see what you're shooting at. You want to see what you're aiming for. But that's about